Are you excited for the event, first of all?
I really am. Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen, and I hope we raise a lot of money, because I think it's, I really do think it's an important cause, actually. I really do. I think independent filmmaking is where it's at. Even if you look at the big budget films that I've done, they've had that at the heart, you know? Your Nolans, your Wachowskis, they are independent filmmakers that have been blessed with budget. So it's great to find that. I have another film coming out that's an independent film. It's good. It's good stuff.
And I mean, just in terms of the actual festival itself, what is unique about the platform that Raindance offers to independent filmmakers?
Well, having been through the process, so at the same time as Interstellar came out, there was another film called Panic that I did, and it's interesting, you know, that was a film where essentially filmmakers that had got together on a set previously as kind of showrunners, as kind of runners, and assistant ADs, and come together and thought, let's actually go out and make a film. So they do that. They manage to get together money, and then putting it out there and getting people to see it, in some ways has been the hardest part of that journey. And so when Raindance came along and said, we want to screen your film, suddenly we had things that we could invite people to, we had screenings that people could come to, we could discuss our film, and put it out there and get distributors in to see it. So I think it's essential. It's an essential outlet to find those next Nolans and Wachowskis and Richies and whoever else, you know. So
when you say that someone like Christopher Nolan is an independent filmmaker, despite the budget he now has, what do you mean by that? Can you quantify the way in which his filmmaking approach and technique is perhaps different from someone who's just come through a studio big money system?
Yeah, I think I'm going to use the word integrity. Bear with me. I'm going to talk about it, but this is not to say that someone who's come through the studio machine doesn't have that. But I feel that knowing Chris and knowing the way that he works, he comes up with an idea, he writes it along with his brother a lot of the time, and they go, and people will fund that. And literally, I think I saw the execs twice on a 4-month shoot, so it felt like doing an independent film, just on a larger scale. But then when you're doing a studio film, you may see the execs and the studio. You may feel the studio's presence a lot more than, say, someone like Christopher Nolan or an independent film that you're doing, a lower budget one. So that's what I mean by it resembles, and I mean they are independent filmmakers at heart. I have a show that's just launched in America, which is a limited series called Containment. So that's out July here, I believe, but is running there at the moment. And I'm here doing I'm doing a film that has Hollywood money, but again, essentially an independent filmmaker that has done very well for himself, and now has written this amazing script and invited me to come and be a part of that. So I'm doing that, shooting that in Pinewood over the next couple of months, and then perhaps back to the States to do some more stuff.
A bit about Containment for UK fans before we get that in July.
Yeah, this is a project that I absolutely love. I think it's based on a Belgian series called Cordon, and essentially it asks the question of what happens if you take a situation that we would usually associate with a developing country or a third world country. What does that even mean? Being dropped in the heart of what we would consider the West or a civilized country, and then seeing how they deal with it. So essentially a virus not dissimilar to Ebola gets dropped in the middle of a city in Atlanta, and I play a cop who's in charge of the zone where the virus gets dropped, and you just see this whole thing unravel over 19 days, but you get 13 episodes, so it's got that kind of immediate desperate feel about it.